public. Let me drop frames. No. There we are.
Are we on here?
Yeah.
Like, is it hooked up to the thing?
The audio, yeah.
Oh, no, OBS.
OBS is good.
Alright.
So make sure like you kind of just move it over here. And then over here. We going live. Oops. What's up, Chris Costoso and photos by Eddie.
Oh, hi, Lauren from Germany.
Germany. Oh, we got a lot of people. What's everybody doing on Friday? Just sitting around, 5:30.
Blue lace wedding photo.
Nobody's, I gotta flip it this way. Yeah. Nobody's working right now?
Blue lace. I'm still waiting for my message back on that warehouse.
What's everybody doing?
If only I could hear you over the sound of my children.
We'll just start screaming, if that's better.
Thank you, Chris.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, it's 11:30.
Wait, what time is it in Germany?
It's 11:30.
It's not at 11:30.
It's because we usually do them at 7:30.
Gotcha.
Which means, yeah. So if you guys want to go on YouTube, it's www.egillphoto.
No.
www.youtube.com/egillphoto.
Yeah, we're live there, and it's a nice wider screen, and
you guys can see the screen.
It's in the high def. Yeah, so it's gonna be picture in a picture if you go on YouTube.
Hi, Stephanie. Brazil lost today. I'm so glad that Crybaby is out. Neymar.
Oh, is he in Brazil?
Yeah, he's a joke.
That guy's pretty bad.
My hair is messed up. My hair is not
Same.
as good as it usually looks. It's fine. That's bad. All right, so we're gonna be talking about Puerto Rico. Saludos. We're gonna be talking about Owen and Sarah and Owen's wedding, which was in Cape Cod. It was about a month ago, I think, a month and 2 weeks ago. We actually just put the blog post up. It's pretty bare. We haven't added anything to it because we were rushing to get it up, but some of our favorites are in there. And I think the big takeaway from this particular wedding was dealing with harsher light at the beach. So we'll definitely go through that. But if you guys, just again, anybody that just joined, make sure that you guys go to youtube.com/egillphoto for the live where you can actually see the contents of the screen. So, yep.
Should we start?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do that on YouTube and get that out of the way. And then we're gonna flip. What's up, Jolly?
Hi, Jolly.
I guess we'll start right here.
Yeah, so the first couple of shots are mostly detail shots. So these actually don't look anything like what I typically will do as far as detail shots. Mostly because most of the detail shots that I'll do are pretty they're darker. They have more shadows. High rocks. So the reason why I went with this look here is because it was a beach wedding. It was more of a I guess it's that cliche word, light and airy. Yeah, Brighton area. There you go. That's basically what we were going for. So the room itself was beautiful. It has this beautiful light coming into it, and I just thought that it would work. It worked really nice if we were to do those or that look instead of. I still use off-camera flash. The only difference being that we just kind of stepped away from the subject instead of overtaking the ambient light with the softbox. We just kind of took a couple steps back so that we were just kind of just adding to the images and the subject. And then Mark took two that are actually really cool, the ones that are on the sides, the darker ones.
I like how they contrast really nicely, like with the
Yeah.
two. So this is all in the same room. So Esteban was facing this wall, and my back was to him, facing the other wall. So the shadows are coming in completely differently. But I want to touch really quickly on the point that since we were in Cape Cod, our number one kind of idea was that we want to incorporate things that showed off Cape Cod, right? So this was already in the Airbnb that they had. So Cape Cod, beach and boats. So we want to incorporate all that kind of stuff there. So the first thing that we do when we're not at like a Connecticut, well, actually I guess we could do it anywhere. The first thing we do is we try to find something that shows off the area, right? So we just took this random boat that was just sitting there off of another counter and put it together with the shoes. And then also incorporated this picture. It looks like the water and some boats there.
Yeah.
So it's always like try to look at your surroundings, see if you could take other things that are around the area and put them in your pictures to kind of help sell the context of the photos there. So these are my darker ones over here. There's this really cool like thatch seat over here. So I saw the light kind of coming through, cutting the shadow, and just position the rings right there. This is an old cigar box that belonged to her grandfather, so that meant a lot to her. So she asked that we incorporate that in the pictures and just kind of put them, line the rings up there. And then the bright ones are Esteban's over here. I was only there for like 10 minutes. I got these pictures and kind of went to the guys. And then Esteban stayed and photographed all the girls getting ready.
These are just your regular, just putting on your dress, the girls helping you out, mom helping you out. There's no off-camera flash or anything done to them. It's just really just talking about what, you guys do your thing. I don't typically like to stop them in the middle of stuff. I just let everything happen, unless it's a shot that's actually planned and I actually have to actually direct somebody to go with a certain pose. But with these shots, we try to just really keep it as natural as possible because it's a very special moment for if mom is helping the bride get ready, or if it's something like a first look. I've seen some first looks where the photographer completely overtakes the first look and it really takes away from the actual moment. And I think as photographers we have to realize that at the end of the day, these are things that are very important to them, and they do carry a sentimental value, and we have to get away from sort of trying to pose everything, even though it's a natural moment, and just letting things happen for certain moments. And then when we have our chance to actually pose people and direct people on getting some creative shots, then obviously that's something where we would kind of take over. But one thing that, if as a wedding photographer, I think you guys should probably go back to the weddings that you've done, especially with first looks being so popular right now. Think about the times that you guys have done first looks and think about it and say, well, how many times have I interrupted a first look because I wanted to get a certain shot. Or a lot of the time when we do, especially with these getting ready portions, is we'll just say get into your dress and don't fully button anything up or anything, and just let me in whenever you're ready for us to start photographing. And then a lot of the time the mom or anybody that's helping her out says, all right, well, what should I do now? And usually our answer is, well, just be yourself. Just this is a completely candid moment. We're not going to interrupt anything. Just interact with each other, have fun, talk to each other. But these are the kind of moments that you don't really want to interfere with as far as the interactions between the people, because again, this is one of the major parts as a bride and as a groom, the getting ready portion is where you'll see a lot of the interactions between the bride and groom and their guys and girls.
Anybody who just joined, we are going over our blog right now. It's egophoto.com/blog. But we're also streaming on YouTube where you can see a picture-in-a-picture and a wide view. So it's youtube.com/egophoto if you want to join us in there. So join us on the chat in there if you want to. We got a few people. We got 7 people. Wow, that's a new record.
Are we fighting for the mouse?
Oh yeah, I guess so. I can't do anything until you
sorry.
chat to our friends. What's up, Engage CT? AC Leak 21, Charlie Photography. Hi everybody. So these are natural reactions here. So I mean, Esteban's a pretty funny guy, but you can't make somebody laugh that good. You can kind of see mom in the background laughing, and then over here they're all just kind of hanging out. I don't know what was going on, but you can just tell that they're having a great time. She had a really nice smile too. This is a really nice photo. So this looks like off-camera flash, right?
Yeah, that was. So we were actually running late, and this was a matter of us really. Yeah, we're gonna have it up later to watch. So if you have to get going, then we'll definitely have it up for the next 24 hours, and then it'll also be available on our YouTube channel. So. So with this shot of the bride, we were running pretty late, and we honestly had maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes to get photos of her and all the bridesmaids and her mom before we headed over to the ceremony. So it was just a very simple one light setup where I sort of got a little bit low and angled myself where you couldn't really see anything in the background that was too distracting. It was a pretty busy background. I wish I got a behind the scenes shot of the background, but it was just very simple. I mean, this probably took like 10 seconds where I just told Jose, our assistant, to just hold up the light and just point it right down at her, just to create a couple of shadows on the side of her face, which is usually the look that I like to go with. And that, I mean, again, it was very quick. And then this was, I think this was a little bit later where it was the bride and just the girls. We usually like to do this pose where we really bring out the bride and groom, and we have the girls or the groomsmen in the background. And just a regular, just nice, like just smiling at the camera. Again, same thing. Just this is shot with a 135mm, the Sigma Art. And again, I think they were kind of eager to get back into the party here. And I just sort of stopped them and say, all right, we'll just talk to each other, laugh, or smile, or talk, or just make each other laugh. And again, just the interactions and just catching the in between moments is pretty important. So
here's some of my shots now. So I went with Owen. This was right in their home there. I think it's their summer home. So immediately as soon as you walk in, there was this looks like a painting of Cape Cod, right? So I knew that it was going to play an integral part of like all the pictures, so I wanted to do the majority of the pictures in front of this. So the story behind the painting is it's third generation handed down from his grandfather, I believe, who owned the same house. So we did the pictures right in front of the painting there, and again, it kind of goes back to what we were saying before about context, showing where you are. So the Cape Cod in the background, and then the family home, so is all important here. So this was with the softbox camera right here, and I think I exposed for the ambient of the room just to kind of get it in the dark there, and I'll show you a little bit later a different lighting setup that I did that came out really cool. Had him just sit on the couch right there. Again, this is another softbox coming from camera left here, pointing at his head right here, and then having him look to the right, and then the softbox on the right side of the frame right here. Here is basically a direct copy off of Esteban's idea. If you guys have been following us past like a few months or so, you've seen the picture with the bridal party walking by. So I kind of wanted to steal that idea and just have Owen standing there, but the guys kind of doing their own thing, so jumping in the air. So this was on a tripod, I think at like 0.5 seconds. I just kind of shot it, but I think I did it 3 times, and I just told the guys to go crazy. And so this is just one exposure right here at like 0.5 seconds or 0.8 seconds. and you kind of you can see the guys like in motion there, and they're all doing something different, which is really cool. And this is the one that I chose to edit, and so he's basically he's not moving, he's just kind of standing there. I told him to make sure don't move or else they're gonna be blurry, and everybody else just jumped in there when I counted to 3, and it came out really cool. I'm happy with how that came out. So they had the way that the ceremony was that they had a ceremony on the beach first, and then they also went to have another one at the venue that the reception was at. So this was the first ceremony where it was just kind of like small, intimate family and friends that they wanted to do. So this was after she had walked down, and then the boat was passing by, so we just got a picture of the boat. Like we actually like ran to get the boat right behind them because it was cruising along the water here, and I just put them blurry in the foreground here. This was a shot that Esteban ruined all of my other subsequent photos because he was in every single picture. But he could talk about these here.
It's just very simple. It's just a 58mm Nikon, my all-time favorite lens. It's not a situation that I would typically do. It's the first time I've ever done it where I was behind the couple, and I actually got close enough to get that much of a close-up of her putting the ring on. But it was again, there were 2 ceremonies. This was one that was a little bit more intimate. We had more freedom to walk around. So I thought it'd be a good idea to get that close-up shot. But yeah, that's basically the only time that I probably will ever do that.
It's pretty casual, the ceremony. But he was standing like right, if you can like see up here, like right behind her, right there to get that shot.
And this is the most Esteban shot in the world. Just the pose is like every other shot, groomsmen shot that I typically do. I just usually light them differently, or I'll put them at a different angle. But yeah, you just line them up, and then you tell them the 2 of them to get behind. Especially if it's a smaller groomsmen party or a smaller group, then it's a lot easier to pose them. I probably should have moved the 2 in the back a little bit closer to each other. But again, most of these shots are done in a matter of minutes, so it's everything's pretty much looking at it a couple of days later and saying, oh, I should have done this differently. So again, it's very spontaneous. And this is probably my favorite 3 shots of the entire wedding. Oh, actually, yeah, some of my favorite ones. I actually got this idea from I forgot the guy's name. He won the shoot and share contest. Is it something O'Reilly? So he won the shoot and share contest by having a photo of the groomsmen throwing up the groom in the air, and it was at a different angle. It was a direct angle, like just he was standing in front of them with a really long lens, and it was a very blurry background, so the groom was up in the air, and you could see the arms going up in the air. But again, like anything else, you kind of have to make it your own. Just like Mark said before, he likes the way that I do the motion shot, so he kind of took that and made it his own. So I figured that it'd be a good idea to get under the groom while they were throwing him up in the air. I was pretty certain that he was going to fall on me, but it was worth it. I thought these came out really cool.
I think it might look better if like there weren't so much clouds, because it kind of the white on the white, it's.
I actually liked the texture in the clouds. I mean, it was a really cool day, especially when the clouds are like this one here. This is probably cool. My other favorite here. Again, when I looked in the sky, and this isn't like a sky overlay or anything like that. I know those are pretty popular right now, but I'm not really a fan of them. I looked in the sky and I saw the cloud formations, and I just thought it looked really cool. Especially since you have the white here. So if this was blue, then I don't think it would have as much of an impact because it's almost layered. So you have the white, the blue, and then you have this cloud here. So I just told him to stand there and just hang out on top of some rocks. And I typically don't do this pose, but I really thought it looked cool, especially with all the negative space, with all the nice colors, and then texture from the cloud. So I think I took a few. Some were more full body ones, and I think this was my favorite because you could barely see them, but it just, again, with the white and behind them and the layers of blue, I just thought it looked really cool.
I think you said that you wished he was
Yeah.
separate, but actually, now that I look at it even more, I like the fact that Owen has more space to kind of look in this direction here because he's more separate than everybody else. Like if it was all equally aligned, they'd all have the same weight, I guess, in the picture.
Right.
But since he's like the main focus, that he kind of gets more space. I don't know.
That still kind of bothers me.
What does everybody else think? You guys like the way it is? You wish he was over? We'll some feedback. This is my shot here. So I knew I wanted to have the girls dark in this picture and Sarah bright. So this was with the help of, let me guess, holding up a light, the AD200 at, I think it was pretty max brightness, and the Magmod sphere, just camera left, just kind of blasting like on her face. So I exposed for the ambient where there would be dark, and then just kind of guessed the power until it was right where I wanted it. So got some like the separation. Somebody commented on your talent. All right, so it's me and Holly Ann against Esteban, even though he took it. Here it looks like it was lit with a light like right above. This one's Esteban shot. I think we had somebody picking up the veil and dropping it, running. Was that like a Jose?
Yeah, I think that was Jose. Or maybe it might have been a bridesmaid that I told him to hold it up and then just drop it and run away, because these are pretty. I'm not a huge fan of these shots, but I thought the rocks looked really cool in the background and gave some pretty cool texture, especially if you're shooting with a long focal length. I think it works really well. This actually, I have a lot of favorites from this wedding, because this is also one of my favorites. I think, and I as a so the way that I typically approach the day is I really try to focus a lot on creativity and doing some things that most people aren't doing, or really wowing, whether it's other couples or even other photographers. But I feel like a lot at the end of the day, it's about these kind of shots where you just kind of let them interact with each other, and you let them talk to each other and just have the natural interaction. And the way that Small Presets is on, oh god, it goes downhill from here. So yeah, so these shots are really cool, and again, I almost have to remind myself that these are the ones where our couples are gonna even love them just as much as those creative shots. So.
And plus, she has perfect teeth.
Yeah, she does.
Which helps, you know. This is my shot here. So again, I like the texture as well. So this was a composite. So basically, Jose was up there with the AD200 again. So he got exposed for the background to get one shot, and then he lit left side of her face, got that shot. And then he ran over to the right side, lit up his face on that side, and then I just kind of composited and masked them together in Photoshop. Pretty simple. And is this your shot? My shot?
No, that's yours. I think I got
it. Might have been my shot. Yeah. Pretty simple. Just the pose, holding the hands, and then telling her to look at him. Oh, my brother's here. What's up, bro? This one is like kind of similar to Esteban's idea. I didn't even know that he had done that kind of photo with the negative space. So originally this photo wasn't framed this way. So this was shot on an 85, but when I realized when I got to the computer that it was pretty much cropped. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the crop was only like to here. It was very tight, and then I took it into Photoshop and I just kind of made the canvas size bigger so that it would kind of fill up the entire area, and then frame them right in the middle with all the negative space around them. So I just like the way that it was framed. So I made it all white, kind of in the background. So it's not a real single image, but it looks like it is.
It's not Thursday, says Sven.
You're
in the future, isn't it? Like Wednesday of next week.
Way more people here though, so we're definitely doing Fridays from now. We got a lot of wings coming up on Fridays.
Yeah.
Anybody who just joined us, if you want to come on our YouTube, it looks a lot better, sounds a lot better, and you can see us and see the screen at the same time. So youtube.com/egophoto if you want to join us over there. All right, here's my shot. This was literally like 10 minutes before the end of the night. We just kind of threw it in here. But this is a long exposure. I think it's about 5 seconds. Just told him to go in for a kiss. I positioned myself at the top of the stairs, and the reception was at a boat dock, so I wanted to show off the whole area, and you can kind of see the stars in the original picture. But yeah, it's just like a long exposure. They didn't move. I did one with a light. I didn't really like it. It didn't really look natural. So this is just one single long exposure, and it came out really nice. So thanks, Sven. You're the best. Esteban shot right here. Ooh, it looks brighter in this picture. I just like that.
This is I think this is a composite.
Yeah,
it's just one of the ones where Jose went on one side, and he went on one side here. I kept and then
like 90 degrees from the camera.
Yeah, so basically just here, probably at around like this angle where it's pointed down this way, and then you take one shot, you go on the other side, and actually that might be the softbox here. I did that on purpose just to show you guys.
You can't see it.
And then it's just kind of just at the same angle, just pointed down. So it's 2 shots, and then you just put them into Photoshop as layers, and then you just composite them into the one shot.
So this was back at the house after the first ceremony, so we're kind of going a little bit out of order here. But I really like that, kind of like that Michelle and Barack Obama picture where they're just on the couch hanging out. So we figured, there's a couch there, so why not just relax? So this was like one of the shots that we took where they're just kind of hanging out there. And they were pretty tired because they had a long morning, so it was just them kind of hanging out there.
Sven trying to instigate. Now, he's been trying to get a raise for about 6 months now, and he's been working for 6 months. So the entire time he's worked for us, not enough. Oh God, here we go. I hope he left.
Probably not. He's probably just waiting in the background. This is your shot.
Yeah. So this is just a single image. I just had her look into the camera, just more of just a more serious look, and I made sure that the positioning of the light was able to hit her and him at the same time, so I didn't have to take 2 shots because I really wanted to get some of his face where just at least you could tell who he was, and just get a nice dramatic feel to her portrait. So. I think that's yours.
Yeah, so then we're still in the house. So this picture I really, really liked. So from like a technical standpoint, so this is with 2 lights actually. So this picture here and this picture here were taken pretty much like from the same angle, but you could barely tell in the background that the painting is back there. So again, I mentioned earlier that this painting was a huge, important part of the family. It's been passed down from generation to generation, and it looks really cool, and just like it matches with his tie. So I don't think that was planned, but the colors are like they're perfectly matched. So when I set this picture up, I knew from looking at the back of Esteban's camera that his picture's looking like this, but I wanted to incorporate the light, but it wasn't possible to do with one light. So while Esteban was taking these pictures, I ran outside to my car to get another flash. So I had the softbox hitting both of them from camera right, so it was lighting up their faces here. But then in order to light up the back of them over here, I had a gridded flash off camera pointed literally like pretty much against the wall here, and to light up the picture of Cape Cod. So 2 flashes in one picture inside in order to get the background lit up plus them lit up. And this picture, his smile here is like, you could tell because he's really, really happy because he's smiling with his eyes. But there's one before that I took where it's just a simple him looking at the camera, but there's no real emotion behind it. And then I told her really press her lips against his, or I might have told her to lick his face or something like that. And then that's how you kind of get the actual smile, with the eyes that looks genuine. Thanks for the Van Dome noise, let me guess. So yeah, really happy with the way this came out. And now we're at the reception. This is just them walking into getting introduced here. Here, so we brought back from the dead the light behind the two of them. We haven't done this in like 2 years, and so this was on-camera light, I think, and then also off-camera light pointed at them to kind of give them like a rim light. You can see around his hair. So that can be kind of cool. This is during a toast. I think this is your picture.
Yeah, I do like to do the shoot through, especially during the toast, where a lot of the toast photos are not that interesting because it's just them looking at each other, and unless it's like the bride and the groom just bursting out laughing. But if you shoot through and at least still be able to show that it was somebody speaking to them, I think it makes for a pretty interesting shot. So yeah, so I usually try to shoot through like hands or arms or stuff like that. So.
Just some reception
Yeah,
photos.
just reception photos.
People dancing, her and her dad. The softbox, basically. So exposed for the lights and the ambient, and then just added the softbox here. Close-up shot, softbox. Shutter drags. Anybody else doing shutter drags? Bunch of shutter drags. I mean, it just makes the photos look a lot more lively, rather than, this stuff. Just kind of adding the lights here.
Yeah, especially since there wasn't any uplighting, so you really want to take the advantage of the actual lights that are there. So typically for something like this, I think I was doing a second at like f8 maybe, and a pretty low ISO. I had the AD200 on a monopod, and I was holding it with one hand, and it was gridded. It had one grid on it. I just had it pointed to whoever the subject was. Agreed, yeah, they definitely do give the photos more live. And I think they did here. It was a pretty good situation to use them. And I also think that you should be using, or at least I prefer to use rear curtain sync with the, is that what it is?
Yeah.
With the flash sync. So make sure that if you're doing that, rear curtain. So you want to make sure that you flash fires at the end of the exposure, just so that you can drag the shutter and then make sure that your subject is properly exposed. Oh yeah, and story time. This is a wedding where Jose lost my 35mm Sigma, and he sat in the corner crying because he thought he had lost my Sigma. So I came up to him. I told him to stop moping around and stop being such a baby and get up and get to work. And then he kept crying. So I had to tell him to go home. We were 3 hours away from home. No, I actually didn't do that, but I wanted to. But we did find the lens. We left it at one of the houses, and we had to drive back the next day. I think it was like 20 minutes out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's all good. We got the lens. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fire Jose. That would have been the positive out of not finding it. I could have fired him and just gotten someone else. So maybe next time.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
We'll hang around for a little bit, answer any questions. We have a busy month. We have like 7 weddings coming up. Tomorrow we'll be in Rye, I think.
Yeah, we're at a castle tomorrow. We're at Woodby Castle in New York. We've never shot there, and it actually looks really cool. Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been there with Matt. It's
cool. Yeah. So he's doing video, I'm doing photography. So we'll definitely make sure that we update you guys. Maybe we'll go live if there's some downtime. But we're definitely looking forward to it. When do you guys come to Europe so we can have a beer? We'll be there next week. We'll cancel our 9 weddings or 8 weddings that we have this month. But no, I would definitely love to go. Maybe you come to the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's start a
invited.
GoFundMe and get Sven to come to the United States.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's maybe next year. No, he's not invited. He's not coming. You'll lose my lenses.
Don't bring your camera.
Yeah. All right. If you guys have any other questions or
we got a new toy. We're gonna talk about our new toy.
Oh yeah.
Not that.
I don't want that. The
This?
light.
Oh yeah, I thought it was in that box.
So this just came in yesterday. I haven't used it yet. Can anybody guess what it is? Guess what's coming out of this box? It's super heavy.
Oh, that's pretty heavy. You got this guy. We're actually gonna get two of them, but this is an Explorer 600. It's a 600 watt second light.
Jose, you better start working out, man. This thing
Oh
is
my
no
God.
joke.
How do you do this?
You gotta hit the
Oh.
thing. I don't know, it's broken. I got it used, so it's probably broken. Wait, unlock the thing.
I did.
Oh, it's broken then.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. But anyway, so a lot of the time you need something like this to overpower the sun when it's really sunny. When you have the one light, like the AD200, or if you just have one flash, it's usually not enough, and you have to get really close to your subject in order to really overpower the sun. So with this, you're able to do it from afar. We'll have two of these on hand, and poor Jose's gonna have to go to the gym because it's
That's like blocked.
oh yeah. I don't know.
Somebody help.
Did you unlock this? This is embarrassing.
Maybe that's
Gustavo,
why.
can you help us?
Maybe that's why it's used.
Oh yeah. Huh. That's fun.
It's like locked in there.
Without the dogs, that would happen this year. Bring the dogs. You guys could take a cruise here. Or something. Take Titanic.
Well, let's start with the battery on. So the battery is pretty. It's even heavier.
Yeah. Let me see how heavy the battery is.
The battery is like heavier than the unit.
Oh my god.
No, the unit's
No.
heavier.
It's not bad. Jose, you're gonna have fun with this. So, yep. We'll be using these for certain situations. Unscrew on the side. Yeah, no, we unscrewed it. It's not going on. So
So this is unscrewed. This is unscrewed. This is unscrewed.
oh, there it is.
Thanks, Gustavo. You're the best.
So
So this is the equivalent of, I guess, 3 of the 8200s, right? So the 8200 barely
so.
overpowers a flash with a softbox, but you have to get like super close to your subject. So this, hopefully we can kind of get farther away, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So we haven't used a 600 watt second flash in a long time.
yeah,
we used to use the Pulse
Photics.
Bus.
No, we used to use Photics. Remember the
Oh,
Photics
yeah.
one?
Yeah,
The Photics Indra 600.
it was alright.
Yeah, it was
Heavy.
cool.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
But this guy's kind of nice.
All right. Well, we're gonna go. If you guys have any questions, DM us, messages, whatever works. All right.
Happy Friday, everybody, and have a good weekend.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Stop that. Goodbye, YouTube.